Well, Zatima fan season 2 came to a close this morning, and I feel like this video, I already did the first part of season 2, like, was season 2A better than season 1? And honestly, no. I think season 1 just had something that the first half of season 2 just struggled to get going, and that was the rewatchability factor. There were some key scenes from season 1 I would rewatch, or excuse me, season 2A I would rewatch, but season 1 just had that quality where I would rewatch episodes until they weren't good anymore. I don't know what happened, and I think I made this comparison when season 2B first got started up. I said, just like on Space Jam, or in Space Jam, the first movie, the classic, when Michael, Bugs, and their team were getting just destroyed by the Monstars, they went to the locker room and then they drank, quote unquote, like, what was that stuff called? Michael's stuff or whatever. It was like just a regular water bottle. And they lied about it being like super, elixir that will make you strong and whatnot. Then they went out on the court and just bodied the Monstars. I feel like something like that happened after season 2A. It's like, Tyler and the cast went back to the locker room. It was like, yeah, season 2A ain't been doing it. So, we got to get it together for the second part. And each week, I mean, honestly, I forgot. Was it week 3 or something where I didn't give episodes like 10s and people were mad at me? But overall, each week was just banger after banger after banger. These episodes were really solid. The fans seem to agree that damn near all of them, if not all of them, were perfect 10 out of 10s. These episodes were phenomenal. Now, would I put season 2 above season 1? I'm iffy on that because I think a better comparison would be season 2B to season 2, excuse me, season 1, because it's like one season was 10 episodes, another was 20, so that's double the amount. It's like I've always said before, the last few episodes of a lackluster season, even if they're perfect scores for me, doesn't make for a great season. Like 2 or 3 episodes can't make up for like 19 lackluster ones. You see what I mean there? I feel like season 2, if I had to score it, it would probably get like maybe a 70%, so to speak, because the back half of season 2 carried the season, but that's still 50%. The first half didn't really do all that much for me. I think that season 2 did a great job expanding the families of the characters, getting to know Fatima's parents, getting to know Zach's parent or mom and brother. Did a lot for helping us to understand these characters a bit more, to understand why they are the way they are. And that truly made me connect with some of these characters a lot more than in season 1. Mona was a great character. Henry easily became one of my favorites. Jeremiah and Gladys, especially Jeremiah, characters who we love to hate, but at the same time, the acting from these actors was so damn good that you cannot deny the talent and the realistic aspects of what they brought to the table. I mean, for Zach not having a father, Fatima's stepdad kind of filled in that role. And then Mona learning how essentially she's basically bougie Fatima, but she's still Fatima. I love that. Dr. Reed, a few appearances, but a standout character of the season as well. And I hope we see more therapy sessions between him, Zach, and maybe Fatima in the future. Moving on from there, getting some more insight to actually, yeah, Zach's past with Connie. I like that as well. Tony and Nate had some great moments. I love Nate's dad with the barbershop. That was some great scenes to kind of change it up. But we got to talk about the, I don't know if I should say bad, but more so disappointing aspects of season 2. I think for me, we still got a lot of the Fatima being stubborn, unapologetic, everything's on Zach. It's like she'll call out Zach for something, but when she does the exact same stuff, it's meant to be brushed under the rug and, not to be mentioned. And I know some people were giving me flack the past couple of weeks for my thoughts on certain things Fatima said, how she handled things. But the Paul aspect, I mentioned this, I think it was in my finale. I think it was in the finale review. But I mentioned how, even though I wasn't a huge fan of the character of Paul, who was well acted, by the way, I think the actor did a great job. I feel like Paul was the Ian of season 2, where he came in, was a definite rival for Fatima, versus Zach. But it felt like while there was some potential with the character, he just got thrown to the side, because it seems like the scene of him and Fatima going on that walk and winding up in the swing set in the park, that was their last scene together. And it just felt like, okay, so was he just here to give Fatima a taste of what else is out there, but she decided to go back to Zach anyway? It felt kind of like a waste, if you ask me. I mean, like I said from the get-go, I'm not a fan of home wreckers. Ironically enough, you got a contractor who's supposed to build things wrecking the home that Zach and Fatima built. But it just seems to me like there could have been so much more done with the character, or better yet, not even introduce Paul at all, but instead have Ian back in the season for, some more dynamics between him and Fatima. Like, is Ian dead yet? I mean, did Fatima ever tell Zach about the invite she had to go over to Ian's mom's house for dinner with them? And I mean, there are just so many things that I felt could have been done better if maybe Ian was put into the season as opposed to Paul. Also, the fact that we have Bryce, who, I mean, I know that Bryce as a character wasn't well received by all the fans because of the drastic shift between characters. Jake on Sistas, and then Bryce in Zatima. And that's at no fault to the actor at all. But in terms of a drastic character shift, it is a bit much to take on at once. I mean, for example, let's say if we were watching Sisters when it comes back October 18th, all the characters are there, everything is fine. But then when we get to episode 13, which is the following week, all of a sudden Preston is recast as another actor, but as another character, but he's supposed to fit the exact same role of Preston for the past, 6 seasons. People are going to be like, whoa, this is a bit unsettling. It will take a while to get used to. So with Bryce, I mean, I feel like this season he completely came off as an asshole. He had some good redeeming scenes here and there, but they were just way too, far and in between. I mean, his main thing for, was it the entire season? Yeah, because Val came one time in the first part of season 2 with that deal about that new property, but it's too expensive, and Zach doesn't want to do it, and Bryce is just pushing up on him. So it just felt like Bryce the entire season, it was all about how he felt, everybody else's feelings be damned. Dang, he sounds like Fatima. Basically, it didn't matter what Zach said, in regards to not wanting to do the deal. He didn't have enough money. Bryce made it about him thinking, oh, well, it's because I tried to make a move on you and that's why you don't want to do it. And then at the end of the season, come to find out he was the one that screwed over their finances by writing a check anyway that caused everything to bounce and freeze. So, yeah, Bryce did not come across as a good character to me this season. A few moments, there were exceptions, but yeah, I didn't really care for the character all that much. When it came to Angela, she did have some good moments, but overall, at the beginning of the season, she was the one that told her engaged friend to keep her options open. Then we get to like season 2B, and all of a sudden she's Team Zach. And while that's great to see, the shift kind of came out of nowhere. Then she was all wishy-washy with Bryce, who was not my favorite character, but even I had to go, okay, what exactly is Angela doing? You're just sleeping around, having a good time with all these men. But Bryce, who you kicked to the curb, you refuse to let him see other women, or if a woman like Deja shows interest in him, you say, "No, what's wrong with you?" It's like, Angela, he's not your man. So what exactly is going on here? Like, what's the? It's kind of a mix between Sabrina and Calvin, where it's like there's a lot of back and forth. Will they? Won't they? But it's like, so do you want him or not? I mean, because just like Sabrina, Angela, decided to like just kick him to the curb. But at the same time, like Danny doesn't like when he goes out with other women, despite the fact that she sleeps around with all these men. So it's kind of, Angela's a mixed bag, I mean, sometimes I think the character's great. Other times I'm like, okay, I'm just confused on what your motivation is. But I did like when she stood up to Belinda, though. That was pretty cool, confronting her about the fake online profile. But, Angela had her funny moments, like at the beginning of the season when her and Fatima got a ride from Sean back from Club Eaton, and this woman literally fell and rolled into her house. Hilarious. But I gotta say, Angela probably has some of the most memeable faces out of all the characters in the series. Like, the number of screenshots I can use for thumbnails and memes, priceless. Let's see, what else we got here? Dang, I really went through most of the characters. We got Nate and Tony and Belinda. Yeah, my baby Belinda showed up again. Nate's lucky ass got to do her a few times, but yeah, she just showed up to cause trouble. It's just funny because we all have those people in our lives who are friends or family or whatever who do us incredibly bad. But it's like, well, we've known each other a long time and we shouldn't let this get between us. Like, yo, you just screwed me over big time, and you think we can just smooth things over with a smile and an apology. It ain't gonna work like that. And you could tell Belinda wants a girl back, but she doesn't want to admit to her messiness, which she eventually does. But it's like, yeah, it came at the wrong time. I mean, you really did Zach and Fatima dirty, especially Fatima. And to think that we're going into a season 3 at some point and these two still aren't friends says a lot. Honestly, the way that Fatima kicked Belinda to the curb is the same way Andy ought to kick Karen to the curb, but we probably will never see her do that. Also, learning that Belinda has a podcast where she reviews, BET Plus shows, I thought was very, 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 very lovely. I don't know. I just love that. Let's see what else we got here. Oh yeah, of course, the singing at the club. We got some new set pieces. I love that. Like the outdoor restaurant, the barber shop, the club. We briefly went to Club Eating. It would have been cool to see an All the Queen's Men character, but it's all good. We have the Dr. Reed's office, of course. Took a trip down memory lane to Zach's old neighborhood. Connie as a character at first, I didn't really like her, but she grew on me as the season went on. Well acted. Definitely a taste of what Zach's life used to be like. I liked her character towards the end. It just feels like anytime these love interests are brought into the series for some reason, at first it's like to steal Zach, it's to steal Fatima, but then at the end of the day they're like, you know what, we can't do it because you're clearly in love with that person, so you ought to get back to them. So yeah, is that a testament to how stubborn Zach and Fatima are at times, where it's like the person who tried to is Mr. Steal Your Girl or it's Mrs. Steal Your Man, when those people are the ones to tell you, hey, you need to get it together with Zach, get it together with Fatima because you're meant to be. How many times are we going to see that, though? How many times we got to sit through that? But yeah, going to Nate and Tony. Nate, I wish Lori was in the season. I mean, we know that Lori isn't speaking to him, kicked him out. Anytime he puts a letter in the mailbox for her to read, she tears it up and whatnot. It's like now he's sleeping on Tony's couch and messing around with Belinda. I wish there was maybe in season 3, we'll see some growth from Nathan. Maybe he'll try to reconcile with his wife, because I feel like it's a shame to have that character just appear in 2 episodes of season 1. She appeared in the first episode and she appeared in the final episode. But I feel like we should get some more Lori. Even if it's just like a couple episodes to say, I'm divorcing you, Nathan, or something like that, or we're getting back together, because the chemistry and dynamic she had with Fatima's character, I liked it, and I really wish she was part of that friend group, but that's just my thoughts. Nathan, he had moments of maturity where he was definitely the voice of reason when it came to like Belinda and Deja, but he eventually came around to apologize to Zach. But it's understandable that they wouldn't accept the apology right away because he did some screwed up stuff. But, Nathan was just a ball of energy you couldn't help but have around and enjoy the character, even if you couldn't stand him. Tony, voice of reason, definitely, not much to say about Tony. I just like the fact that there was some consistent character, dynamics from season 1. We got to see more of the brotherhood between Zach and his boys in this season, which was great. I think everybody can agree probably the best Zach and his crew moment came from the parking lot when they were spying on Fatima to see if she was going upstairs to meet with a man based on that fake dating app profile. I mean, that scene was just, when those knuckleheads were in the car, straight out of Martin. And of course, I made the comparison of when they were at the club and Zach was literally dressed up like Martin during the New Jack City parody episode. So yeah, I could go on and on, but I'm almost at 20 minutes here. But overall, I think season 2 was okay during the first half, but the back half really made up for it. Still, timeline stuff is weird. I don't even want to get into that. But if you take the show for what it is, yeah, I feel like there's some potential. But I'm not a fan of Fatima being pregnant right now. I think that the show would do best to focus more so on the smaller scale things, like Fatima, what's his name? Casey, the guy that she hired to look at Deja to see if she's faking her injuries and all. I thought that, he mentioned like, look, you need to not stay around a law firm too long, get back in law school. I would love to see Fatima go back to law school, but now it's like, if she's pregnant, I definitely feel like that's going to be put on the bench for a while. I would love to see Fatima go to therapy again to deal with her stuff, from Ian, because I'm tired of it being the Zach puts in all the effort show. It just really it gets exhausting. I think that when it comes to the next season, I would love to see more Zach and Fatima working things out as opposed to being split up and apart for, like half the season. I mean, I think we've seen enough times where other love interests come into this fray, and it's a matter of, do I enjoy being with this person where things seem easy? Or should I go back to where there's nothing but hell, drama, and suffering? So I just hope that come season 3, we figure out what to do with Rise Ventures. Because like I said in one of my videos, I wouldn't want to be in business with Bryce anymore. To pull something as low down and dirty as he did with that check and it fucked up both of our finances. Yeah, we're not business partners anymore. Will Angela get a steady relationship, or will she continue to sleep around? Will Nathan and Lori work things out, or is he forever going to be laying on Tony's couch? Will Belinda and Fatima reconcile, or are they truly done? Is Jeremiah, just gone for good from the series because he said he's leaving town? What of Heather and Michael? Will their story just continue to be in Sisters or not be, related to Zatima anymore? And, with the mom dying and, earlier in the season, everybody knowing about the breakup, I'm surprised Karen wasn't shown or mentioned at all. But yeah, that's pretty much it. So let me know your thoughts on Zatima season 2. Did you like it? Did you love it? Were you disappointed? And apparently season 3 hasn't been filmed yet. Ironically enough, it is September 21st. Last night, I saw some posts from like some, big companies or big accounts online that, allegedly there are some talks to come to an agreement today on the 21st in regards to the writers' strike and whatnot coming to a close. So, fingers crossed everything is taken care of so these shows can get back on track. The actors can go back to work. The writers can go back to work. The crew, everybody, get things going again. So, fingers crossed for that. But yeah, to Mr. Perry, to the amazing cast, the people behind the scenes, behind the camera, the ones who put the set together, the ones in wardrobe, hair and makeup to, get the actor situated. Just thank you. I know season 1 was just kind of the test season. And because of the success of season 1, we got a season 2. And while I was worried that season 2 being double the episodes was kind of like, oh, typically when we got double the episodes and stretch things out, things seem to drag. For the most part, I think pacing was pretty well. It's like I said, I just feel like the second part was way superior to the first part. But I guess we have to accept, regardless as to how you feel about the first part of season 2, season 2A was the setup for season 2B. So when you look at it from that perspective, while season 2A was a bit lackluster in places, we needed that setup so the second half would explode the way it did. And when you look at that from that perspective, season 2 was pretty damn good. DeVal, in my opinion, while I think everybody did a great job with the acting, I think DeVal was the top tier actor of the season because we got to see so much emotion for him. I know it was kind of like a little small joke between me and some people online, but it just felt like each and every week DeVal cried and we ended up crying too. I mean, from what was it, episode 2 when his mom left him in the store and, you know, he was crying in the car and we were like, damn, that was emotional. Then we get to like episode, you know, the back half of the season from his mom in the hospital to, you know, him being upset that Fatima left, him getting on the stage. Nights are lonely, days are so sad. I miss you, and nobody knows it but me. Yeah, DeVal, this showed us a more dramatic range to his acting, which I'm here for. It's kind of like in Sistas season 5, was it? Season 4 or 5, and I'm like, Ebony was the standout actor because regardless of how you feel about Karen, she's the character who is allowed to show the most range, whether it be bitterness, anger, sadness, all that stuff. She can definitely bring it. So yeah, I think DeVal was the standout actor of the season. And that's really about it, you know? Yeah, I think that covers it, guys. Season 2 was definitely a trip. Makes me excited to see what season 3 has to bring. But good Lord, the end of season 1. Congratulations, Zach. You're the daddy. And now season 2, I'm pregnant. When it comes to season 3, please don't introduce any more babies. Please do not. We do not have. It's like I joked on Twitter. I said, damn, Zach is so potent. I bet that damn side chick is going to stand up straight and say, Zach, I'm pregnant too. I mean, because what? Heather, allegedly Karen, now Fatima, and the way he was going out with that side chick, bang, 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 bang. Yeah, he probably got the damn pillows and sheets pregnant too. All right, well, that's all I got. Again, to everybody involved in the creation of season 2, thank you for, you know, just putting it together. You did an amazing job, from the characters I love to the characters I despise to the characters I loathe entirely to the characters who I simp for. Deja doing her thing. Valerie was in a couple episodes looking fine as hell. Belinda was back. Oh gosh, yeah. It was good stuff. There are probably some other characters I'm forgetting to mention, but like I said, this video is long enough as it is. But make sure you check out my episode reviews. You'll probably know that, you know, I simp for this character. I simp for that character. Remember that the main channel is still demonetized. I'm trying to hopefully get that resolved soon. So if you have not watched Zatima Season 2 yet, and you're planning on binging them all, on this channel, the back half of the season, all the episode reviews are here. If you want the first 10 episodes of season 2, you got to go to Our Kind of Entertainment for those episode reviews, because the videos are still up and they're apparently still making some money. But guess what? I'm not getting a dime. It all goes to advertisers and shit because YouTube sucks like that. But fingers crossed that I can get the channel monetized, just like Rise Ventures was able to get their assets unfrozen because I need it. But thanks so much for tuning in. Season 2 was definitely a journey. Hopefully season 3 gets filmed in the near future and we'll have something to look dang, I am hungry. Forward to in 2024. Maybe your boy will get a cameo appearance. No, I won't. I know I won't, because they're already, you know, probably written season 3, but it is cool. I just love watching the show. Theme song's still a banger. You don't need to change it. Love ain't perfect. Yeah, there we go. All right, see y'all in the next video. Like and subscribe. and have a good one.